What is up, everyone? You are listening to Today I Learned Bitcoin, where we both teach and get taught about Bitcoin from experts in the industry. I'm your host, Alec. I'm super excited about this episode. Not only do we have some amazing, awesome guests who are here to showcase, excuse me, their Bitcoin Lightning wallet, which we have yet to cover here on the show, but we've also had some crazy bullish action in the price of Bitcoin lately. If you haven't been paying attention to it, you've been under a rock. We've gone through a really long and brutal bear market, but it seems now things are starting to heat up. So, always a good time to be in Bitcoin when that happens. Anyways, I've got my good friend Jason here, of course, on for another session, add some much needed color and bring some of the tough questions to learn more about different products and services. So, Jason, good to have you, brother. Anything you want to say or add before we bring on our guest today?
What's good, dude? It is awesome to be here. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful couple of days to be a Bitcoiner. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So bullish right now. No, nothing really to add, man. Let's get into it.
Sweet. Awesome. We have both Cole and Adam from Coinos. If you guys want to go ahead and give yourself an intro, maybe a brief description of what you do at your company and what the company is all about. Either one of you want to start?
Yeah, so I'm Adam Salties. I'm the founder of Coinos. I started Coinos as a pet project over 10 years ago, just to kind of learn how to do Bitcoin web development. It was just a simple one-page widget back then to do like a price lookup for Bitcoin and let merchants put in their receiving address and use like a watch-only wallet. So they'd get a notification when a Bitcoin payment landed in their address, and then they could keep track of the payments in their fiat currency. So when they got a payment, it would record at the time of the transaction what the exchange rate was. So they'd get like a list of payments in dollar terms. And I started shopping it around to get some merchants here in Vancouver in BC, Canada, to start taking Bitcoin payments. So I had a couple cafes, restaurants taking Bitcoin as early as 2013. And there was a bit of a bull run back then, if you guys were around then. I don't know if you remember, but there was a big run up from like, I don't know, $200 to $1,200 or something. So it felt kind of similar energy as today. Like people were getting hyped that Bitcoin's taken off, and when that happens, the plebs and the no coiners, they get interested, and they were willing to give it a try. So yeah, we got a bunch of businesses come on board and start playing around with Bitcoin, and it sort of fell off after the bear market of 2017 or so, when the fees got really high, and this was before Lightning came around. So the retail payment scene kind of died for a while, at least here, but probably globally, I'm guessing there just wasn't a lot of in-person Bitcoin payments going on. But with Lightning coming around the last couple of years, it's become viable again to do cheap and instant payments. So we're starting to see a bit more uptake again, getting it out into retail businesses, and just trying to push that forward and get people using Bitcoin in the real world.
Awesome. Love it. You're an
That's
OG,
great.
Adam.
Yeah, and then so hi everyone. My name's Cole. I work with business development, marketing, promotion alongside Adam with Coinos. And we just were a Bitcoin Lightning Wallet custodial. We try to make getting started with Bitcoin as easy as possible. We like to make it as easy as possible for merchants to get set up with accepting Bitcoin and Lightning payments, because some businesses are not only Lightning. Some businesses are able to. They're structured in such a way where on-chain Bitcoin payments do still work for them, like bigger scale companies as well. So we do like to focus on Lightning, of course, right? Because it's instant, no fees. But we do always tell people it's Bitcoin and Lightning. We get asked that a lot. But with our Lightning aspect and the merchants, we've just grown a lot. We have over 330 businesses internationally internationally. We have a bunch in Brazil, some in Miami, some in Nicaragua, all across Canada, and we're only looking to grow. We don't really turn away businesses. We've never had to turn away business. There's no limitations. Within reason, there's like no limitations with what kind of businesses can use us. And me and Adam, we host meetups on a regular basis in Vancouver, at least one per week. If we were to average it out, sometimes it's 5 per month on average. We partnered with multiple other big event organizers. We partnered with other companies in the event space. So we're able to get very good deals on renting out event spaces and setting up booths, getting our name out there. We're both just really passionate about expanding the Lightning Network and telling people the value of Lightning and the numbers. Lightning, there's not really a limit with how many transactions the Lightning Network can handle, because it doesn't work exactly the same as blockchain. Bitcoin's on the blockchain. Lightning's not actually on the blockchain. And a lot of people are not aware of that kind of thing. The Lightning Network can handle, up to 1 million transactions a second. There's not really a limit, but 1 million transactions a second is not a lie. And, you look at Visa, MasterCard handles, last time I looked, it was like on average 1,700 transactions a second. So the average Lightning, it's crazy, right? The average Lightning transaction that I've done with my experience is less than 1 second. So you could be in Bali, Indonesia right now, Alec or Jason. Jason, you'd be in Australia. I'll send you money right now. You'll get it in less than 1 second. Sometimes when we're routing to different Lightning wallets, like different apps, it might take longer than 1 second. I can say that, right? Because I've traveled to a bunch of different countries: Bitcoin Jungle, Costa Rica, Bitcoin Beach, El Salvador. I've been all around Bitcoin Jungle, and then what was the other one? Bitcoin Lake in Guatemala. So I've been to those communities, really cool communities. They are passionate about Bitcoin Lightning. And I used Coinos at all of their merchants there. So we do have channels open with those other big Lightning apps. We try to stay on top of that, because as long as we have channels open to these big Lightning apps, the other widely used ones like Bitcoin Jungle or Bitcoin Beach, it's really usable internationally. And so the fact that it makes Bitcoin transact instantly, like Adam said, it wasn't really a feasible thing before Lightning. Now that we have Lightning, it's more feasible than ever to accept Bitcoin.
That's amazing. I mean, I constantly hear, I don't know how much time you guys spend on social media, but I always try to, break our Bitcoin echo chamber and make content for the normies over on TikTok, full of crypto bros that say Bitcoin's old technology, it's too slow, it's not scalable. So you guys are just kind of proving that entire narrative completely wrong. Like, Lightning has been absolutely exploding. I'm sure you guys saw that report that was put out by, I think it was River, one of their analysts on Lightning. Just absolutely blew my mind. I had no idea the level of adoption we've had there. So sounds like, a very exciting time for your guys' business and, anyone else really building on Lightning, right?
Mm-hmm. I forgot to add my history in like one paragraph. I got into Bitcoin since 2015 is when I've been in, back when things were like, I had money in Einstein Exchange in Vancouver. Did you hear about Einstein? They did the same thing. So they did the same thing that Quadriga did. I had money in Quadriga. I got my money out though. I got my money out of Quadriga, and I also got my money out of Einstein as well. But Einstein had a full-blown office and everything downtown Vancouver, very legitimate looking. So I did that, and then just did all right in the bull runs, multiple bull runs, and then I'm also into mining as well in the background. So yeah.
Love it. That's awesome. Jason, you got any questions top of mind for these guys?
No, guys, I think this is so cool what you're doing and kind of helping to spread the adoption to merchants. I'm curious, like when you're scouting businesses, I guess a two-part question. Like first, what is the method of outreach? Or is this like cold prospecting you guys are doing, or is some of this stuff inbound to you guys, or a little bit of a mixed bag? And second, what are some of the characteristics in the businesses? You said you're at around 330. What are there common characteristics that you're looking for in scale and size and things like that as you pursue your market?
Yeah, it is a bit of a mixed bag. Cole is really going hard on the cold calling, hitting the ground, walking into places, asking for the owner, emailing places, phoning them, and just following up with all kinds of businesses. We do try to get warm introductions from people. So occasionally people will introduce us to a business, and that tends to work a little bit better because we get our foot in the door, and then they're willing to hear us out a bit more. But it is a mix. We've had success with some of the cold calls and just walking in and talking to a random business owner, and they agree to give it a try. Our main selling points when we go and talk to someone new is it's free, so there's no setup fee, there's no transaction fees compared to paying credit card and debit fees. They're paying like 2 or 3% to take payments that way. With Lightning, they don't get charged anything at all to receive a payment. And the other big selling point is the community aspect or the promotion. So we will promote them on social media. We'll let them we'll host events and bring the community around and try to bring Bitcoiners to these businesses that are willing to take Bitcoin for payment. And we'll put them on btcmap.org. That's a directory of all businesses in the world that are taking Bitcoin. So it's just more exposure for them as a business, something to stand out versus their competitors. And also it's a cheap way to acquire Bitcoin. So a lot of business owners have heard of Bitcoin. They're a little bit interested, but they haven't taken the step to figure out how to get an account at an exchange and purchase it. And this way, by just selling products or services for Bitcoin, it's a good way to just get your first Bitcoin and get it at a pretty good rate, because the exchange rate that you're charging your customer is the market rate. So you're not paying any spread or additional fees to acquire your Bitcoin that way. So those are the main kind of things that I like to point out when we're talking to someone that's totally new. Your second question was about
the characteristics of businesses. So
right.
are
Yeah,
you
what kind
looking
of
for
businesses we
businesses?
target.
Yeah, certain size, certain characteristics, certain markets, things like that.
Yeah, I'd say we're going after the mom and pop type stores, especially if it's a single owner. They don't need to go to the board and pass it to get approval from a bunch of people to be able to take Bitcoin. So we're looking for those, food trucks or farmers market vendors or small cafes and restaurants where we can get in, talk to the owner, and they can make a decision to get to yes, right away, without having to have a bunch of email back and forth and getting approval from other people and other parties. But other than that, the types of businesses we go after, we want everyone taking Bitcoin. So we're not
That's a
going
good
after
answer.
any specific business category or type. In fact, we want to see a diversity of different options. So we've got a bounty program to get different types of businesses. We're offering sats to people if they refer us to get a grocery store, a bakery, a butcher shop, a laundromat, a gas station, a liquor store. We've got all these different categories that we want to see so that people have options to spend their Bitcoin in all these different kinds of places in town.
That's so awesome. How do you guys make money?
We have a 0.1% conversion fee, which is the cheapest in the industry, right? When you're transferring from on-chain Bitcoin to Lightning Bitcoin, right? We care more about just building the network, building adoption, which does circle back around to make our investment number go up, right? So, and the fact that it's 0.1, we build our user base, more and more users, it adds up 0.1%, but we are the most cost-effective solution in the industry. And then people also sometimes reach out to us to get us to build things for them. So build FT, Adam's built multiple different things for he's built a lot of software and front ends, and Adam's a full stack developer. So people reach out to him and us to do work for them, like building an NFT marketplace, like the Liquid NFT marketplace, like Rare Toshi, which is a layer 2 of Bitcoin. right? Liquid network. So we get more exposure with that too, which can bring in some revenue as well.
Gotcha.
And Adam, I don't know if you want to add to that, but
Yeah, we're not really monetizing Coinos at this point, so it's pretty much covering our cost, if that, with that conversion fee. That's like when people are going from Lightning to on-chain, we have to rebalance our nodes so that our liquidity in Lightning doesn't get depleted if everyone's sending us Lightning payments and then withdrawing on-chain. Eventually, our inbound liquidity gets eaten up, and we have to rebalance the channels. So that conversion fee pretty much just offsets the cost of doing that. Like Cole was saying, our main business model is we have a Bitcoin treasury and we're trying to spread Bitcoin adoption. Eventually, I may think about monetizing the app more by having like premium features or little things where you can get your like orange check mark or a badge or something on your avatar, or fun little things like that. But we haven't really introduced any of those paid features yet, but it's something we might do down the road.
we also have an online store for merchandise, coinosmerch.com, and we have all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. We got shirts, hats, toques, coffee mugs, shoes is what's really we just sold out of all our shoes. We just had to re-up like a big order of our shoes. People can go online and order it too, but the shoes, they sold pretty quick once people started to find out about Bitcoin shoes. Yeah. So
Awesome.
That's a little bit of revenue on the side. Right?
Yeah, definitely
like
drop
it.
those links in the private chat here, and I'll make sure that we share that out. I think it's pretty amazing that not only is this a product that's essentially free, but it's also reducing a massive cost for businesses. Like, I've sold software in the past to businesses that involved merchant services, and saw their statements from their merchant services, and the amount of money that flows into Visa and American Express, MasterCard is absolutely, it's bonkers. And the fact that we have a technology that can essentially do it free, and then there's developers like you building tools that you're just providing to them, it's pretty incredible, man. So I mean, I don't have too many other questions. I feel like we've got a pretty great understanding of the business. I'm stoked to just take a look at this thing and understand a bit more how it works.
Sure, I can share my screen here.
Yeah, go ahead and throw that up. All right.
You guys got that?
Yep.
All right, so I'll just point out this is our landing page. Down at the bottom, we have, so this is pulling from the same OpenStreetMap data that btcmap.org is using. So we've tagged all of the merchants that are specifically using Coinos to take payments. And you can see in Vancouver, there's like a print shop, a tanning salon, coffee shops. This guy does painting, Vietnamese restaurant. So there's a bunch of places in here. And then if you zoom out, we've got places all around the world. There's a couple in Eastern Canada, a few down in Miami, a ton down in Latin America, especially in Brazil. There's like a couple down there that went and onboarded a town with like, I think they've got over 200 businesses down here now. So
Holy
there's
cow.
just a
Do
ton
you
of
guys
merchants.
have someone out there? Like, how'd you get so many businesses in Brazil?
Yeah, there's a couple. Their project is called Bitcoin Aqui. That's my Portuguese attempt. It means Bitcoin here. And I think they're just from this town, and they knew a lot of the business owners and merchants because they grew up there. And they just went and orange pilled, as you can see, like hundreds of them. So I really want to go and visit this place one day. Because it's like one of the most Bitcoinized cities in the world now, I think.
That's amazing. I think I have one business that accepts Bitcoin within 100 miles of me. So that's incredible.
Well, if you have any ideas on any potential prospects, let us know, and we'll
yeah. Sounds like I need to get after it, start onboarding some guys with you.
But I'll go through just like signing up for a new account. So you just go to the register page, and we'll just make an account here, TIL, and that's it. So we're logged in. We got our Satoshi balance of 0 Satoshis, $0. You can go into the settings and change your avatar, change your local currency if you want to see it in any other fiat currency. And now that we've got an account, I'm going to hop to another window and sign in, and we'll just send a payment between these two accounts. So this is Alice here. She's going to send a payment to TIL. And TIL, send $1. And there
Instant.
it is. I got it right away.
Holy cow.
You see,
Wow.
we got $1 from Alice, 6 p.m.
Have you ever timed like how long it takes from setup to send payment? Because that was literally 10 seconds or less. That was pretty impressive.
That's mind-boggling, man. That's crazy.
To
Yeah,
create an account, like seconds. Yeah.
it's fast. Yeah, I don't think it couldn't really be much faster because it's a website too, right? You don't need to install anything. You just go register and you're ready to go within seconds. You're limited by how fast you can type in your username.
Okay.
No email confirmations either.
Yeah, now that we've got this $1 here in the TIL account, we could withdraw this to either a Bitcoin address or we could pay a Lightning invoice. So let me pop open my Albi wallet and I'll just demo that, show like a payment to an external wallet. So I'm going to ask for, how do I work Albi? I'm going to ask for a Lightning invoice. I'll do 100 sats. Paste that in here, and it says we're sending 100 sats to Albi. And there it goes. We just sent 5 cents.
Beautiful.
Love how it's all denominated in US dollar too.
Yeah, well, this is Canadian dollars, but yeah, you could. It detects based on your IP address. So if you guys register an account, it'll be US dollars for you.
Sweet. That's amazing.
That's so awesome. So
the Canadian dollar uses the same symbol?
Yep. Yeah, it's a dollar sign.
I didn't realize that.
how does this work with like accounting software and reporting in that regard?
Yeah, so you can see here we've got our week, month, or all time. They're all the same right now, but you can filter by date to see the payments for different time periods. And this $1 that we received here, even as the Bitcoin price fluctuates, this is always going to tell me that it was $1 on this date. So I know for income purposes, if I'm a merchant and I'm selling things and I take $1 payment, that's my income. And I would just put that into my regular accounting software or my point of sale software as a cash payment. So for accounting purposes, it's the same as taking cash. You just total up, what you received in Bitcoin for the day, and you pay your taxes on it like you'd be doing a cash payment. And we do have a CSV export button here. So if you want to get a spreadsheet of all your payments and load that up, you can import this into your accounting software, QuickBooks, or whatever you're using.
Okay.
That's
the
amazing.
only thing to be cognizant of with taxes too is the capital gains. So if a merchant takes a bunch of Bitcoin payments and then Bitcoin moons and like, let's say it doubles in price over a year, and then they go and spend that Bitcoin or they sell that Bitcoin, they've technically made a gain on their Bitcoin. So they would have to, like, let's say my $1 here turns into $2. I would have to pay tax on, the dollar profit that I made.
Gotcha. And does it report like a cost base? I guess it's that it'll show you received $1, which was a certain Satoshi amount, right? Is that kind of like your cost basis?
Exactly, yeah. So it'll tell you what it's worth currently, and that, or like the present value. And it'll tell you your cost basis.
I just noticed the gain loss. That's freaking cool too. So not only are you receiving these payments, but you can watch it grow in here as well.
Exactly, yeah. And if you go back to the homepage, it's got a WebSocket connection to Binance. So if you watch this number down here, this is like the live Bitcoin price in Canadian dollars. And if we watch this long enough, we might see this in real time tick up to like 96 cents or go down to 94. So let me see if I can go to an account that has a bit more of a balance. So if we watch this, like we might see a change.
You can send messages to people too, other people with Coinos accounts.
Yeah, I think it just ticked up from 64 cents to 65.
Oh, there you go. That's moving.
There's 67.
Oh yeah, let's go, guys.
Oh, we're mooning. We're mooning.
69. Yeah, so it's kind of fun to go and watch your balance kind of move around.
And that gain loss thing, is that like an aggregate of all received payments?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so sick. I love it. Man, this is like a really nice UX. Really
Thanks.
clean. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a designer come and help us out with it last year. So they did an awesome job.
Yeah, it looks incredibly simple. I'm curious. So I'm just trying to envision, either I'm running this business, maybe I sell some kebabs or some type of food, have a food truck, whatever.
We actually have a kebab food truck.
Oh, boom. There we go. I knew everyone who makes kebabs is a Bitcoiner. I know it.
Do you remember their name, Cole?
Master Chef kebab? I don't know what they're using. Oh, yeah.
There's the master.
Yeah. So if you go to like coinos.io / a username, everyone has a public like profile page. So if you know their username, you can get here. And then if I want to send Master Chef some sats right now, I can click pay and I could send them like, 10 sats or something.
Just as a tip or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
actually, you got the
here
tip right
it's
there.
prompting for like an additional tip. So
see, that's huge.
I'll send 11 sats, let's say. We're doing 10 sats plus 1.
Just to point out, that's actually a really big deal. I've never seen another Lightning like wallet service provider have a tipping function like that. I was going to ask y'all, like, what's the difference between Coinos and something like Breeze or something along those lines? But that right that's amazing because it's replicating what the traditional like Square point of sale does, right? I go through, swipe my card, then it's asking me for the tip. That's like a huge thing ever since the past couple of years. Every freaking thing asks me for a tip on it now. So I love that you guys have that built in there. That's super cool.
Yeah, and that's one thing like in retail settings that a lot of them would ask about. If we didn't have that, then they can't get their tips. Then it becomes an issue.
Absolutely.
So I guess the flow of when we're going in to pay for stuff in person, I'll just kind of talk about that a bit because we've done some work there to try to like streamline the UX when you're doing like an in-person payment. So if I was going to Master Chef's food truck and I want to send him a payment, he doesn't have to have Coinos on his phone or on a tablet. Because I know his username, I can get to this page on my phone. And so I can have it loaded up before I get there. Or what we'll do with a lot of merchants is we'll give them a QR code that just links to this URL. So they'll have that up at the cash register. And then anyone who comes in and scans that QR will get directed to this page where they can then click the pay button. So he'll tell you how much you owe. He might even ring it up as a cash sale and give you your bill. And then you can say like, okay, I owe $6 for a kebab. And you do your tip on the next screen, right? So all this is being done on the customer's phone. Master Chef doesn't have to take time to like wait for you to scan the QR code off his tablet or figure out how to use your wallet. He can be off making the kebabs and you're doing your Lightning payment this way, all on the customer's end. And when the customer finally gets around to sending the payment, instantly it's going to print out a receipt for him. So let me just stop my screen share here.
Yeah, I can pop that off for you.
Here we go. So you guys see this little printer I'm holding?
Yeah.
So this is like a little thermal receipt printer I got from AliExpress, like from China. And I've added a little board. Let me see if I got one lying around. Oh, this is
Your
a big
Arduino
version
board
of
is
it. It's like a little Raspberry Pi computer type thing, but this is actually like a big one compared to the one that's in the printer. I've got like a smaller version that's like the size of a thumbnail pretty much.
Oh, wow.
And so it turns this little printer into a Bitcoin printer. So it connects to the Wi-Fi credentials that you give it, and then it listens to our API for when a Lightning payment comes in, and I'll print out a little receipt that says, like in dollars, what was received. So the merchant, Master Chef is making his kebabs. You are figuring out how to do your Lightning payment. You send it off, and then when he goes and checks the printer, it's just going to tell him the notification that he received the payment. So he never has to touch like a tablet or a device or anything. He's just got this paper receipt, and he puts that in his cash register and treats it like a cash payment. So it really speeds up like the in-person payment flow, because the customer doesn't have to be like, trying to scan a QR code or do a tap or anything. They're just off to the side, using their phone to send a payment.
That's
Clean.
freaking cool.
Clean.
I was going to ask, like, do they have to pull up like on their phone to verify the payment came through? That's sweet, man. I haven't seen that with any other solution out there. It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm trying to promote it because I think it's like the best experience for both the merchant and the customer when you're doing like in-person payments. So I made a video on it on how to build these. It's all like open source, and I like link to all the parts and stuff and how to put it together. So
sweet. Well, maybe that's a way to monetize in the future. Sell the printer.
We are, yeah, it's on our store, the printer.
Oh, sweet.
On our online store. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, I mean, if the whole setup's free, you just have to buy this little printer to make yourself device free. That sounds pretty amazing to me.
We have been, for a lot of the businesses that have been signing up, we do offer to supply the tablet and printer for businesses. Yeah, we've been doing that. Yeah. If they don't already have their own tablets, some businesses have their own tablets, but we are open to supplying that if that's the deal breaker of them doing it or not.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we've been airdropping these on merchants here. I've just been covering the cost of it just to get them out there. So once we get to like 100 merchants in town, then I'll start, charging them for the printer,
Hardware
just to
charge.
cover the cost and stuff. But for now, we're just like getting it out there.
That's
this
amazing.
is awesome, guys.
You guys got me fired up. I'm gonna go talk to every business that I frequent and be like, hey, you guys need to make Bitcoin or I'm not coming back.
Well,
and you need to use Coinos.
Yeah.
To that point, I'm kind of zooming out and I'm picturing like how you're approaching these businesses. So like, Cole, you're out there, you're the soldier, you're the salesperson. Are you like going and orange pilling these guys? Like, are you approaching people who are full on, they know the word Bitcoin and that's it, and you're taking them to a point of acceptance and then willing to actually accept that as value for their business? I mean, that's huge. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah. A lot of them are a majority of who we talk to. Adam's also onboarded multiple merchants too, right? And we talk to a lot of them that they don't know anything about it. They just know the word, like you said, right? And just helping them understand like that they're gonna get, most likely, can't guarantee anything, right? So we just say you're most likely gonna get more sales because we're opening you up to this big Bitcoin community in Vancouver, a very passionate community that wants to spend their Bitcoin and they want to be bankless. A lot of people can't be bankless yet, right?
Yeah.
So we help people with that, like Adam was saying earlier about having the diversity of businesses, so people can basically live off Bitcoin. That's our goal, is so people can do everything they need to do, and
that's
just
the dream, right?
So yeah, then we're always I'm out and about orange pilling people and businesses like all the time and stuff. Yeah, it's good. Our
That's
All those
amazing.
street interviews with people too.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Did I tell you about that, Alec? Did
No,
I
I
tell
don't
when
think
on
so.
our I do street interviews with people, just basically sharing the good word of Bitcoin with randoms on the street. We try to make it as entertaining as possible. And some of the video compilations that we've come out with are pretty good. I work with Beaver Bitcoin's one of the sponsors, and bitcoinnews.com. That's who's been posting those videos on their Twitter and stuff. I'll send you some links and stuff.
Yeah.
But just all kinds of people, especially there's a lot of university kids like 21, 22, 23 years old. They think they know everything and stuff like that. I'm not saying they're all like that, but some of the ones I've been coming across are like that. And those are the fun ones to talk to because it's entertaining. They're like, oh, Bitcoin's a scam. Why are you stupid enough to believe in that? It generates entertainment, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So, as you guys are kind of building up your clientele, I imagine right now you're really focusing heavily on those Bitcoinized locations because that's the selling point to the merchant, right? Is like this is going to open up for more business. Where do you see that being like more of a challenge, more of a hard sell? Would you say there's like, I guess in US based regions, do you see that being a little bit more challenging than some of like Latin America?
I mean, like I would say Latin America is probably easier because the United States has a lot stricter regulation. And even though
Yeah.
Bitcoin's legal everywhere, the strict regulation in the United States scares a lot of Americans. So I'd say it's easier in Latin America for sure. Yeah. When I was down there in like Bitcoin Lake and all those places, they're more open to the idea and stuff like that. And
Sure.
more exponential growth. The exponential growth that we've had in Brazil has been a lot easier than if it was in the States for sure. Because in Brazil, there's no IRS down there throwing people in jail left, right, and center, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of different ways to look at it though, because I know like some businesses, especially smaller mom and pop brick and mortar stores, that they prefer cash because it allows them to do alternative things, we'll label it, and they're offering cash discounts, things like that. So not only is it an alternative to cash, you don't have to carry around and deal with this paper. It's instant and hopefully everyone's going to have Bitcoin soon. But it also there's often referred to the Bitcoin cheat code, like simply, you know, putting Bitcoin around your business, whether you're accepting payments or having some type of product or service that has the Bitcoin ethos, draws in business to you from Bitcoiners. Like you mentioned, Bitcoiners want to spend their Bitcoin. They don't want to use fiat. If they've held it for years since 2012 or 2015, all that appreciated value, they want to spend on quality products or services. So it itself, like just being able to accept Bitcoin is almost a marketing effort as similar to pushing out ads on Google or something like that, right? So I think that's amazing. Like just lean into that. That's definitely, how I will be spreading the word, helping you guys out is just, open yourself up to the possibilities of Bitcoin and you'll reap the rewards. And I mean, the amazing thing is, right, they don't have to learn all about blockchain technology on all this stuff to get started. Like it took 10 seconds, you're receiving payments. We didn't really cover too much, but it's a custodial solution, but they have the option of withdrawing, on chain. It's how I've pictured it is kind of like a cash drawer, right? Like myself, I'm sure plenty of people have worked at fast food restaurants and things like that. You start the day with $200 in your drawer. At the end of the day, you have $530. You're going to pull that 330 excess, withdraw it, put it in the bank account, and leave 200 in there for any refunds, things like that. So I imagine is that kind of the experience that most business owners go about it.
Yeah. We always encourage them to take it out to cold storage when it gets to be a higher balance. And we're going to add some features soon to automate that. So once you hit like $1,000 in your account, it'll move it out to a cold storage, like self-custodial address or something. Or you'll be able to put in like a Lightning address for some other Lightning wallet that you want to withdraw to or something.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I was that actually that was my next question is like if there's a next step where you help them kind of learn the aspects of self-custodying and withdrawing that, because I imagine a lot of these folks that they're being orange pilled and kind of introduced to Bitcoin as merchants for the first time, they don't really understand some of those aspects yet.
Yeah, we'll help them with that. I've got like video tutorials on setting up hardware wallets and things. And as part of the meetups that we do too, we have like a big community here. We do bit devs and more technical talks. So once we get merchants kind of, getting a taste for Bitcoin and they become interested in it, then we have all these other avenues for them to get educated and learn more about it. And we do like a weekly Bitcoin and coffee, which is just like a casual meetup for people to come out and ask questions and talk about Bitcoin every week. So
I'm gonna add that link.
Great.
Yeah, just for your curiosity, it's the meetup.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll definitely be posting that in there. I mean, I don't, unless you guys have anything else to cover, that kind of wraps it up for me. You got anything else for these guys, Jason?
No, you guys are out there doing the Lord's work. I love this so much.
Lord's work.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's like Alex said, he and I visited a small place in downtown Salt Lake probably about 6-7 months ago, and it's the only place I know of in the state of Utah that takes Bitcoin. So, I imagine a world where like there's a place like that on every corner, and you guys are, enacting that vision every day, and I think that's incredible.
Thanks. Yeah, hope to see some more down there. I drove through Salt Lake a few years ago, and it's a cool town. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we'll be scouting for you over here.
What's that?
Nice.
I said we'll be scouting for you over here.
Thanks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Awesome, guys. Well, I'd love to, point people to any direction. You guys, Adam, you mentioned you have like video tutorials and stuff. I imagine you have social media pages. Cole, you mentioned, some of the videos you're shooting of street interviews. Any social media you guys want to shout out before we hop off here?
Yeah, our Twitter is Coinos Wallet. That's our Twitter, and then I put my link tree in our chat there. It's linktr.ee/Coinos.io. That's our link hub. So individually, I mentioned the Twitter, and then Instagram is just Coinos.io, and that's how I found you guys. Was Instagram?
Awesome.
Yeah. Instagram's got some gems there. Yeah, it's cool. And then we have in our link tree, we have some of the YouTube tutorials, and Adam just linked a direct one there.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, guys. I will make sure to have all these links in the show description. We're going to get this across all the platforms possible. And sounds like me and Jason got some orange pilling and work to do in our local town. We need to get some merchants on board so we can spend our Bitcoin come this bull run, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Spend and replace.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
Always replace. Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks.
And until next time.
Thanks, Alex. And Jason, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.